He stood there in front of that closed door, heart racing. For years, he'd been the hardest worker in the company, the one who showed up early, stayed late, and always delivered. But now, once again, he was passed over for the promotion. What was going wrong? He had the skills, the experience, the work ethic. And yet, there he was, watching someone less qualified, step into the role he knew he deserved. That moment hit him hard. He realized it wasn't just about what he knew, it was about who he knew. Sound familiar? This isn't just his story. It's a pattern we see play out time and time again in careers, in business, in life. The saying, it's not what you know, but who you know may sound cliche, but the reality is it's true. For a lot of us, it feels like an unfair game, like the system's rigged. But here's the thing. Instead of feeling stuck or defeated by that, what if you learn to use it to your advantage? See, the power of connections isn't about using people. It's about building genuine relationships, finding common ground, and creating value beyond just what you know. So let's talk about this from a few angles and break it down. Skills alone won't open every door. And think back to the last big opportunity you wanted. Maybe it was a job, a contract, or a chance to work with someone you admire. You were ready, right? You had the knowledge, the experience, maybe even the perfect pitch. But when the time came, you didn't get the call. Why? Because someone else had a more personal connection. Maybe they'd had a casual coffee with the decision maker. Maybe they shared a chat in the hallway a few months back. That connection put them on the radar in a way that skills alone can't always do. Now, don't get me wrong, skills and knowledge are critical. You can't get by without them. But they're only part of the equation. If no one knows you, if no one thinks of you when the opportunities arise, then it doesn't matter how qualified you are. So the question isn't whether skills or connections are more important, it's how do you balance both? People don't just invest in ideas, they invest in relationships. Think about it like this. If you're a business owner and two candidates walk into your office, who do you trust more? The person with the most impressive resume, who you don't know, or the person you've worked with before, who understands your challenges and gets along with your team? See, familiarity builds trust. People are naturally more likely to believe in you when they've had a chance to know you personally. It's not favoritism, it's human nature. We trust people we've connected with. So instead of hoping someone notices your work from a distance, you've got to make sure they notice you. And this is where the magic happens. The relationships you build, they create a kind of unspoken trust where people feel confident in giving you opportunities. It's about being more than just a set of skills on paper. It's about showing up, being present, and being someone they can rely on, networking the right way. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, networking feels sleazy or it feels fake, like I'm just trying to get something out of people. And yeah, it can feel that way if you're doing it wrong. The problem is when we think of networking as self-promotion. Here's the key, real networking isn't about collecting business cards or stacking up social media followers. It's about building genuine, meaningful relationships, the kind of relationships where you're not just thinking, what can I get out of this, but also, how can I support this person? A great example of this is Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. Schultz didn't just grow Starbucks through spreadsheets and PowerPoints. He built it through relationships. He understood people, whether they were his employees, his customers, or his investors. He connected with them on a personal level. That's what made them want to believe in his vision. And you know what? You don't have to be outgoing or a natural extrovert to do this. Introverts often excel at building deeper, one-on-one connections. It's about being consistent. It's about being authentic. And most of all, is about showing people that you're invested in them, not just what they can do for you. So, how do you build these connections? Let's get practical. How do you actually start building those relationships that matter? Here are a few steps you can take. Be intentional about where you spend your time. You've got to show up. Go to the events where the people in your industry or field are hanging out. Attend the conferences, join the webinars, go to the meetups, but don't just go to listen. Engage, ask questions, start conversations, connect on a personal level, not just professional. Give before you get. This is key. Don't make your first interaction about what you need. Instead, ask yourself, how can I add value? Maybe you can help solve a problem for them. Maybe you can connect two people who should know each other. When you offer help without expecting anything in return, people remember that. They remember you, and when opportunities come up, they'll think of you. Be consistent. I don't just show up when you need something. Check in with people regularly. Follow up. Be present, even when there's nothing immediately on the table for you. That consistency is what builds strong, long-term connections. Be authentic. People can tell when you're being fake. It's better to have a small, genuine network of people who really know and trust you than a big, superficial list of contacts. Be yourself. Focus on building real connections with people who share your values and goals. Your network is your net worth. At the end of the day, it's not just about who you know, but how you know them. The world is full of talented, knowledgeable people, but the ones who rise to the top, they're the ones who've built the right relationships along the way. So here's my challenge for you to start today. Reach out to someone you've been meaning to connect with, attend that event you've been putting off. Offer help to someone without expecting anything in return. Don't wait until you miss out on another opportunity because you relied only on what you know. Because when you start building genuine relationships, doors that were once closed will begin to open. Not because you know everything, but because you know the right people. And even more importantly, because they know you.